Hello, 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 everybody. I hope that everybody is doing well. Welcome to the Weekly Healing Circle. Y'all, we are now in Gemini. It is now Gemini season, and happy early birthday to all of my Geminis. So, lots of things going on, lots of energies. Listen, lots of energies, lots of things. Mercury in retrograde moved back into Taurus while in retrograde because it was in Gemini, giving Geminis a well-needed breath of fresh air as they go into their season. So it's definitely quite a bit going on. Venus is in Aries, Mars is in Pisces, Jupiter is in Aries. Quite a bit of things going on. This is definitely the time. It's the time, y'all. It is the time to really get yourself. This is like the prep work for the rest of the year. To be honest, this time period, it's the time to do all of the unfinished business. It is the time to like really sort a lot of the things out. Because y'all, this retrograde has not been the easiest. Mercury retrogrades in Gemini are usually not the easiest ones to go through. They can be very, very heavy. They can feel very like mentally, just everything's kind of getting knocked over. At the same time, it can be really hectic as well. So it's not necessarily the easiest time right now, but it's a time that we're navigating, right? We are navigating it together. What do we need to know for this week? I'm just going to pull the cards for this week so we can start on the forecast for this week. We're not going to be in this live for too long because your girl has a headache and I just took an ibuprofen. Wow. Okay. Wow. Justice and the Eight of Swords is the bottom of the deck. Wow. I'm really like, wow, for this week. So we are starting with the Page of Cups, okay? Then we have the High Priestess and the Eight of Pentacles. Okay. Then we have the Ten of Cups, and then we have the Lovers. There's a lot of things going on when it comes to romance, when it comes to relationships right now. There are certain things that are getting restructured as well. Some of you are going to be navigating some relationship things. Some of you, especially because the Page of Cups is a new journey. So this could be a new journey into a new, like a towards a new relationship. I don't mean that some of y'all are going to get into new relationships during this time. I mean that it's the beginning steps. You might not recognize it in the future as, oh, this was the catalyst. This was the moment where things started to shift. But this actually is the moment when things started to shift. With the High Priestess coming up, there are some works, certain things, whether it be through healing, whether it be through spell work, whether it be through certain intentions or certain things that you've been wanting for yourself. When it comes to partnership, love, romance, especially when it comes to karmic relationships, soul connections that are still coming into play. Some of those things are still working in the background. Some of the intentions that you set, if you have been setting intention for like, oh, I want to meet my partner, I want to meet my life partner, I want to get married, or I want to have this or that. When it comes to relationship goals, some of those things are already in motion, and you're going to see some shifts happening this week. Not fully into full-fleshed fruition, but you're going to see certain things coming into motion this week. But we are working towards a divine union. That's really what this is, because we have the Lovers and we have the Ten of Cups, which is literally the happily ever after card. This is a card of like, this is where you stay for years. This is where you get to thrive for years, where your heart gets to thrive, where you get that moment. And so there's a lot. If you've been setting intention this week, if you have been doing also a lot of healing work through Mercury retrograde, which is what you should have been doing, okay? Because Mercury retrograde is a time for healing. It's a time for mental healing and processing things mentally, getting clear, sorting out, a lot of things. Because Gemini energy, Mercury energy moves fairly quickly, but it needs to slow down and revisit certain things from the past so it can move with a clearer mind moving forward. And so we have the Justice and the Eight of Swords in the bottom of the deck. And I'm not surprised because this is like very much partnership, love. It's Gemini season, so it's going to connect to the other air signs as well. Anytime that there's that, whatever element the sun is in, all of the other signs that are also in that element also kind of benefit within the energy. So if it's like Earth season, like with the Taurus season, so Virgos and Capricorns will also see a difference within their energies. Same with the air signs, so you kind of get affected by that as well. But there's also a focus on partnership, karmic relationships as well. In areas that you have been restricted, if you have been actively, like if you haven't been in the relationship that you should have been in, right? You're going to be seeing this calibration moving forward. If you have been doing the work, if you haven't been doing the work to heal yourself, to heal your heart, to work on yourself, to work on the things that you need to work on, it's not going to be cute. I'm just going to let you know right now. It's not going to be a cute experience. But if you have been putting in the work of releasing and processing and healing yourself and getting yourself ready for this person, you're going to be able to see that. And because Venus and Jupiter is in Aries, and also Chiron is in Aries, there's a lot of healing that's happening when it comes to love, romance. There's a lot of healing that's happening, especially because Jupiter is an expansive planet and it rules expansion. It's going to be in a way that's not, it's not necessarily like it's in small microwaves. Like you're going to be able to see shift and changes happening fairly quickly, because Venus is going to be working together with Jupiter, while Jupiter is in Aries, and while Venus is in Aries. You're going to see them working together and really kind of working to shift things, because Aries is a sign of the journey. It's a warrior sign, and it very much advocates for themselves and their own personal journey. They rule their own journey, okay? And that's why they rule the first house, because your first house is how you show up in the world. It's you showing up in the world. It's not them showing up. It's you, how you show up in the world. And so there is a focus on that specific energy of your journey. How are you showing up now? What have you healed now? How are you going to present yourself now moving forward? What does that shift look like? Okay. So if there's definitely that push into, okay, what is our journey pushing us towards now? Why is that important? Why is it necessary for us to move there now? It's in that kind of trajectory. So there's a lot going on in regards to the shifts that are happening, the speed at which they're happening as well, because again, Aries moves very, very quickly. Aries moves, it's just a very quick sign. And so you've got to kind of expect that things are going to be moving fairly quickly. So with Venus being in Aries, you might feel very passionate about, your perspective towards relationships and love during this time. We have the Eagle, spirit vision and healing, spirit vision and healing surround you. And this is what I was saying earlier about this is a healing time, okay? And there's a lot that is happening. There's a lot that's coming forward, because when you have the High Priestess really being how we're holding our vision for the future and the intentions that we're setting and how they're working in the background, because they are working in the background. Be careful of the choices you make, okay? Because this is a time to be very mindful. The things that you decide, again, this is one of the checkpoints of the year. The things that you do during this time, hold water. Be very, very mindful of the things that you are doing, the choices that you're making during this time, because they have consequences, okay? Secrets discovered, because Mercury retrograde is still unraveling things internally. It's still revealing things. There's still things that need to be learned, things that need to be processed, especially things that, because now Mercury's in Taurus in retrograde, things that you're very, very stubborn about, things that you don't want to let go of, things that you're very rigid about, because Taurus rules possession, okay? It rules possession, value, the things that we possess, okay? So this plant, I possess this plant is mine. This iPad is mine, okay? Mine, okay? I possess these things. So when you possess something, you're attached to it. A part of your energy is attached to it because it belongs to you, right? And so when it comes to relationships, when it comes to certain things that we're going through, certain things that we are currently having to accept about the things that we possess, the things that we might have to let go, the things that we might need to process. It can feel like, oh man, now I gotta let go of this, now I gotta let go of that, let go of that. You know, it puts us in a little bit of a sensitive spot, and then we have to process those things, and it can feel very much like the secrets and the truths that are being revealed can be very intense, can feel heavy, can feel hurtful, can feel painful, and also can feel very liberating as well. It can feel very validating. So these secrets are not always just about and the truth that's coming out is not always about pain, but sometimes it's about like, you've been getting whispers of this. Your own spirit has been recognizing this for a while. You're just getting the validation now. And blessings from the earth. Blessings from the earth. Because there's still a lot of things that are happening. Bottom of the deck is a new spring is upon you. We're literally in spring right now. But blessings from the earth. There's definitely, this is a moment that is like, it's meant to be. And look, these were the last two cards, the 10 of Cups and the Lovers. Okay, blessings. Okay, it flew on my hand, but the intentions that you're setting, let me pick it up, hold on. Oh, the intentions that you're setting, the things that you are setting towards this future, this vision that you have for yourself, it is meant to be a blessing, and you need to hold yourself to those things. If you want to be powerful, if you want to work on your gifts, if you want to develop yourself, if you want to really like be in a healthy relationship, if you want to meet your partner, if you want whatever it is that you want, the intention that it is that you want, you have to really not like put walls in front of yourself into getting it. You need to see it as a blessing. The things that are happening right now might not feel so great, but it's trying to lead you to the blessing that you asked for. And sometimes that can be really hard to accept. But it is necessary to accept it anyway. It's one of those things that if you don't, you know, if you just kind of dismiss it, if you just kind of like disregard it, if you just kind of like, you know what, I'm just going to sulk in this moment, sulk in this feel, sulk in this thing. It's going to feel really, really heavy. And it's going to feel like you can't get over the thing that you know you need to get over because your whole entire body is telling you to. Like it can feel contradictory in that moment. So it's one of those things that during this time, we need to accept the things that are actively a blessing. And are, even if they don't necessarily feel the best, you don't know where it's trying to take you. You don't know where that experience is trying to take you. You don't know what you're meant to learn yet until you do. And then you have that 2020 vision, right? 2020 vision is super, super clear once you're like, oh, in hindsight, looking back now, I can see, you know, like you're able to kind of really see why it had to happen the way it had to happen. So it's about really, again, flowing with your own flow, but not getting in your own way during this time. And I cannot stress that enough, especially because Mercury is a retrograde Taurus. So it's a lot. It's a lot. We got dreaming. I'm not surprised it's the first card we're getting for this week because the moon is currently in Pisces, which is one of my favorite moons anyway. So beautiful card for the beginning of the week. And I really think that y'all should stay in this energy. Daydream. Okay, do the thing. Why? Because it's going to lead you here to that 10 of Cups and the Lover's energy, to that happily ever after energy, to you getting what you want energy, okay, to the manifestation energy. Sit in that Pisces energy. We're also getting hope. And this is what I'm saying. Daydream about how it's going to feel like, how it's going to look like. Listen, if you've been needing a vacation, envision yourself on the beach with like a coconut in your hand, like use your vision. How many times have we been talking about holding your vision in the past couple of months? I feel like that's been a message from Spirit for like a couple of months now, because I feel like some of y'all need to, okay. It's one of those things where you need to really, really, really romanticize your life. That's also another thing that we've been talking about a lot in the weekly healing circles. I feel like Spirit has been wanting everybody to just feel a little bit more like, I don't know, there's like this romanticizing, this kind of like, oh, if your life was a movie, how would you direct it? Like really kind of artsying up and beautifying it in a way that you can actually see the way that it's going to come, like the beauty in it. Like it's layered. It's not just one thing, but it's multiple things. I just feel like spirit has been actively trying to push us into holding a little bit more of an effort towards the intentions that we want and how we feel about them, like really connecting our feelings to what we're envisioning and why we want the things that we want, right? We're getting dive deep, because I do think it's important that if you're actively trying to manifest something right now, if you're actively trying to work on something, if you're actually trying to get through something right now, you need to get to the source of the thing. And some of you need to do a little bit more spiritual work to get there. There's like that diving into that specific part of yourself in order to get that, to specifically heal that part of yourself that feels like you're almost like the surface. You're almost like touching the surface of the situation, but you're not getting down deep enough to get down to the root of the problem. Like, you're gonna need to dive in a little bit deeper. And that includes with the things that are blocking the things that you're dreaming about. What are the blockages? What is the truth of the matter? What's standing in your way? Be honest with yourself, okay? We are also getting innocence. I'm not surprised about this. It's very mutable energy. Mutable signs be acting innocent all the time, let me tell you. But innocence, it's not surprising to me, because the innocence is really making you, it's going to push you into bringing, let me rephrase that. It's going to push you into almost like it's gonna, like, having a conversation with your inner child where you are coming to terms with the situation itself. The thing about inner child healing is that it can be very difficult to do, because it requires you to hold a level of honesty that can be just like uncomfortable on a core level. Like, you could just feel like so against yourself when you're trying to, like, you know what, like, get, you know, to a point with yourself. So it can feel very like layered in many ways. So when it comes to the innocence, it's like, it's not about you making yourself be the victim or the right person, or you did, like, especially if you did something wrong, if you were in the wrong about something. It's not about being the innocent one, like, oh, I did no wrong. All of us do things that are wrong sometimes. We're all human beings. It's not about being innocent in that way. It's about, when it comes to coming back into innocence, it's coming back into your own purity. It's coming back again, that mutable energy, that Gemini energy. Gemini is the children of the zodiac. So like Virgos, having that maturity, but they're still the virgin twin signs, right? So there's still like this innocence. This Gemini season is very much of that. Like, it's very like that, because it's a little bit of that purity complex, but at the same time, it's more about the playfulness, the intention, like not meaning wrong, but just your intention being maybe, oh, this is what I meant. I was just trying to play with this, but I broke this by mistake in the process of playing with it. But my intention was I was just trying to play with it, and it ended up breaking. You know, like, okay, you did something wrong, but it's like coming back to innocence. It doesn't make you a horrible person. It doesn't make you the worst person in the universe because you broke the thing, right? So that's what I mean about like the innocence and the inner child healing. There's certain times, especially as adults, where the inner child healing conversation tends to be a little bit more serious, because we're not talking about, oh, just breaking something. Just breaking something. It's not just about, oh, I broke something, you know, mom is mad at me because I broke the thing, but I didn't mean to. When we're adults, it's different, because it's like, oh, you should know better. Oh, you should have known. Oh, it's like a lot. It can be a lot of things for absolutely like so many different reasons. We're expected to know better. We're expected and we're held to a higher regard. And because we know better, it like our inner child can lose track of this innocence sometimes, especially when we're doing ego healing in relation to other people. Sometimes, you know, you have to admit two things can be the truth at the same time. Sometimes, okay, you know what? You decided to stay in that relationship, and okay, that relationship wasn't, you know, the best thing that you decided to do, but you were just trying to love, and you really loved that person. In your heart of hearts, you didn't mean anything wrong, even though you knew that relationship was toxic. There's an innocence about that, but there's also, okay, you holding yourself accountable for staying in that thing for like longer than you should have. It's kind of like you need to, it needs to come into like center where you can hold yourself accountable, when you can hold space for yourself, when you can really sit with yourself and say, okay, I wasn't in the right with that, but okay, moving forward, okay. Like you're able to really kind of get yourself a lot more clearer because you processed what you needed to process, because you were able to really sit down with yourself and say, you know what, that happened, okay, but moving forward, okay. Like you're able to move away from it and then come back into your innocence and come back into your intentions and then really hold yourself accountable in that way. We're also getting gratitude because I've been getting gratitude in a lot of people's readings lately because everybody really, I feel like the collective of the ancestors and spirits just want us to do a lot of affirmations right now, especially through Gemini season while it's in retrograde. We should be doing a lot of affirmations. We should be sitting in gratitude. We should be grateful for what we do have, because that's what's really being triggered right now. The things from the past, the things that we've already accumulated, the things that have kind of created a little bit of chaos that need to be addressed. It's a lot. It's not the easiest thing in the world to navigate, but it's a lot. It can be a lot, and it can feel like you need to, it can feel like there's so much chaos going on that you forget how to ground yourself, especially on an air sign season. It requires a little bit more of that ebb and flow. It requires for you to like literally move through mutable energy. And mutable energy flows in and out. There's going to be times where it's like, certain things are not going to be so great, and then there's going to be times where it's going to switch and everything clears up really quickly. Mutable signs and mutable energy ebbs and flows. Things can go one way and sideways really, really, really quickly. And if you understand that in the moment and you allow yourself to be in the moment with that, you're able to kind of ease your way through some of the situations that you might be going through in a more mindful way, instead of expecting every single time to be the exact same as like last week. Like, one of the things that I personally, and this is just the way I personally work with astrology regularly, is I don't expect every single month to be the exact same way or like every single time, like especially when the sun moves from sign to sign, I don't expect the same energy from the previous month. I am very, very mindful of like, okay, you know what? It's this season. This is the theme of this energy of this season. So this is what I'm going to work with. But I'm not going to be necessarily stubborn or, thinking that, this is the other season, because then you get stuck. You get stuck on certain times, and then you get stuck in time as well. And this is something that can be really, really frustrating when you get stuck in time, because then you get stuck in moments. You're like, oh my God, but a couple months ago, everything was fine and blah, blah, blah. But you have to go with the flow of the energy. And something could have been great a couple months ago, but then the other month, the focus shifted to something else, and you just, you didn't stay moving forward. You didn't stay on task. And then you expected something to stay the same, where in reality, it was meant to shift. And that can create a lot of different issues. So again, it's important to sit with yourself. It is important to navigate. It is important to really, really, really not be so hard on yourself. And it is important to forgive yourself, to release, okay? But to also hold space for yourself for that healing. We're getting balanced spirituality and practicality, full moon in Pisces. And the moon is in Pisces right now, so it's funny that we're getting this card. Adjustments are required for this week, and it really, really is. Some of you might need to shift your whole entire perspective this week. Some of you might need to like really just accept the truth of the matter. Some of you might need to like let go. Some of you might need to revisit some of your intentions. It can shift. It can be a little bit different. It depends on the thing, but it's a process. It's your process, and you should try to make it as easy as for yourself as possible. Don't get in your own way, because then you're just going to be very irritated as to like, oh my God, why isn't this happening? Why is it not working? Why? And you're the one. You're the reason. Like, you are the reason. So has a Cardi B that moment for a second. But no, but seriously, like you could end up being the one in your way. And then it's like, why are you in your way? So a win-win forecast. Full moon in Libra. Okay. So either way, things are going to shift where things come into balance again. Bottom of the deck was justice. It was the Libra energy. There is like this, there's some mirroring that's going to happen from what's happening now during Gemini season that will move past through Libra season. You're going to be able to see that as well. Just a lot of things going on. But again, like I said, this is a checkpoint. This is a checkpoint for the year. This is the part of the year where you really need to get it together so the rest of the year goes a little bit smoother. And if you don't do that, you're going to get frustrated. Trust me. Just don't get in your own way. Have faith in your dreams. Okay, why? Because literally we're getting so many, Spirit is literally like, y'all, we're working on these damn petitions that y'all been telling us to do. Okay, we working on it. You need to stay in the faith. You need to stay, listen, we're working on it. If you know we're working on it, stop stressing out about it. Okay, do your part. We're going to do our part. You do your part. You do your part. We'll do our part. Okay, that's what Spirit is saying, because we're getting, again, 10 of Cups energy. Expect powerful change because there's a lot happening. There's a lot happening, y'all. It's a lot happening. It's a time where this week is very, very, it's setting us up for a lot, especially for the summertime and what's coming up in June and July. It's setting us up for a lot. And if you use it properly, you'll be good. But if you literally get in your own way, it can feel like nails in a coffin. Like you're just trying to get out. You're trying to find a way. You're trying to escape. But it's just like you can't for some reason. It's like it doesn't, for whatever the reason, but for some reason, it just you can't shake the thing. That can be really, really, really frustrating. So take it one step at a time. I definitely dive a little bit deeper into some of the things that you're feeling stagnant about, some of the things that you don't want to let go. But some of your intentions, so some of you guys' intentions that you have been putting into motion for a while now, whether it be for a couple months or last week or whatever, those intentions are still in play. You, especially longer term intentions. What did I say at the beginning of the year? Yeah, I remember in January Capricorn season, what did I say when Venus was in retrograde? In Capricorn. What did I say? I told y'all this is the time for you to get really, really clear on the things that you are going to work on, the intentions that you're going to set. Okay. This is the time. So the intentions that you've set in motion during Capricorn season, Capricorn is not a instant gratification sign. Okay. We're not those people. We're not the people who want things right then and there in the second. Like, we have goals, but we like to work towards those goals. When you set an intention using like a Capricorn energy kind of focus, where you're really like, whether you're working with Capricorn moon or with the transits or whatever, and you're focusing in on that Capricorn energy, you know that's a time investment, because we're ruled by the planet of time, which means that you need to put in the time if you want to ground that energy into your life, because that's what we do. We ground, okay? We ground things. We create our reality and then we ground them. It becomes the mundane. It becomes our reality. And so it takes, a process to work on it and to build it and to get there. It can take years. There are certain intentions and certain things that, especially when it comes to like love or romance or money or business and finance and certain things, that can take years to happen. Y'all, I just got married this year, okay? I had set the intention to heal my heart so I can meet my partner. Like, I want to say like 5-6 years ago. Like 5-6 years ago. I think it was like 6 years ago. 5-6 years ago. And in hindsight, I knew I was going to get here to this point where I'm like happily married, but past Abby had a lot of healing to do. Past Abby had to set I had a whole year of heart healing to do. I had past life work I had to do. I had to really go through and heal a lot of my energy. I did a lot of crystal healing, a lot of past life work, a lot of Reiki, a lot of things to just heal myself to be ready to even meet my partner. So when I say that some of your intentions are in motion, when spirit is like, listen, you need to have faith in your dreams, especially the big ones. The big ones, they're gonna take a little bit of time to get here, but that's just gonna make it more grounding. Just know that the more like time that you have to make room for something, especially when you're doing it correctly. Because if you're just kind of pushing, creating more distance between your intention and what you want, is like you're getting in your own way. But when you're actually letting things blossom the way that they should, they're able to ground and solidify in a more natural way, in a way that it just makes sense for your energy, where you're at now, what you needed, what you're going through. It's gonna make more sense. But know that those dreams are in motion. I've been yelling at y'all to hold your vision and envision and romanticize your life literally for the past, I feel like 3 months. I think since the beginning of the year, I've been yelling at y'all about your intentions and about the things that you guys have been envisioning. And it's been for a reason. It's because your spirits and your ancestors and your guides, they're working on it. They're working on it, but you can't get in your own way. You can't get in your own way. If you need to revisit, your exes and really in your head and be like, okay, what did I learn? Why did I need to release that? Why was that not good? Why did it not work out? What was the problem? Who was the problem? Holding your ego accountable as well, because we're not perfect. Sometimes we do stuff wrong, and you need to accept that as well. And so with that in mind, there needs to be a focus on the release that needs to happen, how you're setting yourself up for moving forward, but also holding that vision for your life and having trust in your spirits. Y'all need to trust that everything's gonna be fine, everything's in motion, everything is Gucci, everything is fine. I need to keep that trust. If you don't keep the trust, it's going to feel like you're not going to really understand why something is happening in the way it's going to feel really, really frustrating. It just is. It really is. So hold your vision, release what you need to release. Stop being so stubborn about certain things that you gotta go. Its value has been depleted and it's time. Okay? Stop doing that. Go in deep within yourself. Find the truth, find the answers, and also allow the truth to come out without you repressing and suppressing it. Okay? If something is meant to come out this week, especially some truths or things that are hidden this week, just let them come out. It's going to come out anyway. It's either going to get ripped like a Band-Aid or they're going to come out gently. Okay? So let things come out as they come out. Make peace with yourself, focus on healing yourself, and make sure that you are setting yourself up for that success emotionally and mentally so that you can get and be in the place that you need to be. So yeah, that is the weekly healing circle for this week. We're going to close it off a little bit early because your girl, I had a headache, I still have, it's a lingering headache now. It went away a little bit. But I just want to jump in the shower and just kind of cleanse my energies really quickly because I've been doing readings all day. So that's what I'm going to do. But I love you guys. I have a thrift store haul and another Dollar Tree haul that's about to be posted tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. So stay tuned for all of the things. I love you guys so much. Don't forget to, and hello to everybody. Hello. And big welcome to the live. But we're gonna go ahead and sign off a little bit early. I will definitely see you on the next one. On Wednesday, we're gonna be doing our weekly community oracle poll, and the prayer circle should happen on Thursday. So yeah, I will see you loves in the next video. Thank you guys so much for all the love and support. Seriously, you guys are the absolute best. And yeah, have a beautiful night.